trick that I'll share with you. I can choose a better way with every little thought I think. If I wake up with a bad attitude, I fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
What you thinking? What you thinking? What you thinking? What you thinking? You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
Hi there. I'm Beth Bitzane Brooks, and I'm here to welcome you to Creator-Based Life. A creator-based life is a life filled with beautiful choices and opportunities. It's not a life that is free from trouble. It's a 50-50 life, 50% good and 50% not so good, but that's where the learning comes in. And we're here today to talk with Jacine Bonnet, who is a great creator-based coach, and Jennifer DeRusse, so also another great creator-based coach and a hypnotherapist. Yeah. And Jacine's a great business coach as well. So we're here today and we're talking about something near and dear to all of our hearts. It's the word should. And I know we've talked about things before about shoulds, but this week we have a parable, a sweet little parable called the parable of the should queen. The question is, do we want to read the parable of the should queen, or do we just want to talk about the parable of the should queen?
You should read it.
You think we should read it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys okay if I read?
Yes, please.
Right. So this is the story of the should queen, the demise and redemption of the kingdom of should, and how the land was reclaimed by love. There once was a beautiful and gifted queen. She had everything one could ever want: companionship, affection, beauty, leisure, comfort, and purpose. She was needed, desired, and cherished by all. But she was not happy. Our beautiful queen was tortured night and day by the shoulds in her kingdom. But you should visit them, they would say. You should give your time to that, they would say. You should use your gifts here. You shouldn't do that. Hurry, there won't be enough time for everything you should do. All around her was dark. Day and night, the shoulds bothered her and wore her down until her beautiful, gifted life looked gray, dingy, and dirty. Those shoulds had polluted all of her lands, thoughts, time, and talents until they ultimately immobilized her. They held her in should bondage, and she and everyone in her kingdom soon became gray, dirty, dingy, and hopeless. The queen's subjects were filled with the fear of missing out and paralyzed with the power of the self-centered should. Those shoulds wormed their way into every aspect of life in the kingdom until no one could see past their immediate pain and suffering. Life continued for a long time in this bondage, simply getting by each day under gray, pressure-filled skies. The kingdom was stuck in Should darkness. Years passed, and the kingdom became known and avoided as the kingdom of Should. The people no longer prospered because everyone was either too busy worrying about what they should be doing instead of what they were doing, or too stressed because of what they hadn't done or had to do, or too worn out from the relentless onslaught of shoulds. They were, as a nation, unable to see and care for their neighbors. Darkness prevailed as the queen suffered, and her subjects followed suit. The kingdom was busy, 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 and failing. The people were exhausted by the weight of FOMO and should. One day, a young serf from a neighboring village wandered into the kingdom. He wasn't much to look at. He wasn't tall. He wasn't handsome. He wasn't even well dressed. He didn't even have a horse. He just had a broken down old mule, but he had an infectious smile, and love abounded in his heart. The serf strode into town whistling a freedom tune. He smiled and he felt the soft sand under his sandal-clad feet. And to him, it felt like he was walking on pillows. He looked up, he saw the clear sky, the bright sun. Oh, you should know that shoulds cause drought. And he felt inspired and happy clear to his core. His world held infinite possibilities, and he knew only good was coming to him. He could hear and feel his heart's desire, and the serf instinctively knew how to act on it. His soul was clean, and his mind and spirit were peaceful, just like that sunny sky, and he loved the world. Tousled hair, big blue eyes, and a delightful lilt in his step drew all to him. And soon he had cats, a few dogs, a stray chicken or two, and several children walking with him. They sang the happy tune as the menagerie made its way into the heart of the kingdom square. Once in the square, the serf produced a long cotton rope. "Jump with me," he said to the children, and he taught them to twirl the rope in unison and take turns jumping. When one tripped and skinned his knee, he taught them to clean and cover it and give it some extra love, both to the injured and to themselves. And as they jumped, the serf and the children made a rhyme. I love neighbors. I love me. I love others as it should be. Should does not mean I must push. Should does not mean I must go. Should means I with my creator flow. Happy days come in the know of who I am and where I go. They jumped and they jumped and they giggled together until they were too tired to jump anymore. Sinking into the soft grass, the chickens found a roost. The animals settled down, and the children gathered round the young squire. And when all had settled, the blue-eyed master looked at his friends and inquired, "What do you think about that fun jump rope rhyme? What do you think that means?" "It means love," said one. "It means to listen with your heart," said another. "It means slow down and focus on what's truly important," said a voice from within the shadow of the town square tree. It was the Shoulds Queen. She had watched the children learn and jump with their teacher and learned a thing or two herself. Pondering on the words of the rhyme, the meaning of the little poem resounded deeply within her troubled heart. And quietly approaching the resting group, she continued, "It means that as I am fully connected to my Creator and seek to serve Him and His children, His love will flow through me in a stream that lights the world. The word should will no longer even be needed as we flow with Him in the love He has for all of His creations." As her heart warmed with the confirmation and expansion that truth provides, the landscape blossomed, and the gray, dingy world around them seemed to rejoice into brilliant color. The kingdom of Should was redeemed. Far and wide, the message of the jump rope rhyme spread through the kingdom, and of course, all the children learned to jump. The busy, busy life settled into one of quiet purpose and kindness for self and others. Life was good again. In time, the kingdom even received a new name. It was known far and wide as Compassion. So that's the parable of the should queen. She's a favorite of mine. And I think we decided when we were talking on the miracle call this morning that the should queen's scepter is the should stick.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're looking at starting school and starting all of the fall activities. Oh my gosh, when I was at church yesterday, the sign up sheets, there must have been 6 different sign up sheets and at least that many things that they wanted us to come and do that we went over. And I thought, oh, summer is over. Starting September 6th, things got really busy. And into my head came those ideas of shoulds. Oh, I should, but I should, but I should, but I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you guys? Have you noticed any shifting
Oh,
in
yeah.
your areas? Things picking up speed or things starting anew?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What's going on at your place?
Well, getting ready to teach the early morning high school kids.
Yeah, you do the youth classes.
Yeah, and a lot of shoulds because summer schedule is not that schedule. So I'm trying to use the shoulds and to be like, it would be best if I did this. It would be easier for me if I did this, it would be really good,
I like that.
Yeah, trying to change those words into more of an empowering word that, yeah. But I don't know. I like that energy. I've always really liked the change from those hot summer days because I mean, even though we're going back and it's still hot and still summer, fall is coming. So change is coming.
Change is coming.
I kind of like that energy of like that anticipation and something different. Yeah.
Yeah. 4 more weeks of summer self-care and then it's done. Yeah. But I love the feeling of newness, the fresh season, and all of the potential, which usually gets me in trouble with the shoulds
Oh, yeah.
because of the decision making. What do you know, JC?
So how do you make that transition without bringing in the shoulds? Our summer self-care can move into our fall self-care and our winter self-care and our spring self-care. And just like in the story, I love that parable because and y'all should know that Beth wrote that just so you know. And I
just wrote it for y'all.
Oh man, it needs to be a
Great
children's
writer.
book. So yeah. And an adult book. But it just, to me, it's how do we keep that balance of how do I continue to have self-care when my schedule looks much different, whether it's school,
Or
whether
scheduled.
yeah, there's a lot more scheduled, or maybe I don't know. We had vacations that were scheduled, but that seemed really fun. So isn't it a matter of perspective? How are we looking at those? And like Jen was saying, are we looking at those as I should, or is it a choice that we're making as I choose?
Yes.
I choose.
Yeah. Well, we just finished the whole month with the creator-based mantra. And the first line of the creator-based mantra, which empowered me every single morning as I said it out loud, today I choose to be the creator of my life experience. And it was, I don't know, but every single morning my heart would just leap as I said, today I choose. And I might have come in at 6 a.m. with a headache and the grumpies, but when I started, today I choose, something came alive in my heart. And I think that's got a lot to do with battling the shoulds, because if we choose, it stops being a should. It starts being, I choose. It's something that I want to do.
To me, should feels very external, almost like somebody or something is.
It's the should stick.
It's making me do this,
Yes.
And so when I have a choice to do, it's more like an internal energy. I don't know. This is how I feel about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a truth. I don't even think it's like I feel. It is a truth. When we look at the power of words, should versus choose, those are very, very different words.
Yeah.
And as we choose, that is empowering, right? It gives us power. And should, like you said, it diminishes our power.
Should makes me mad.
Yeah, it makes me rebel.
Me
Oh
too.
my
I just feel so rebellious. But choosing, when I go back to what Jen said earlier, when she was talking about it would be best instead of I should, choosing lets me rate things as good, better, best.
Mhm.
Like with all of those opportunities at church for all the different things I could sign up to do. Some of those things were good, some of those things were better, and some of those things were best. And so for me, I will choose the best. And I will let somebody else choose their best, which might be my good or my better. But either way, it will all be taken care of. I don't have to do them all. I get to choose what's best for me.
Right.
Yeah. You've experienced that as well, huh, Jacine?
Yeah, yeah. It really is important that we make the time, that we choose to make the time to choose.
Yeah.
To look
That's
at,
self-care, right? When we make the time to choose.
and so we can continue that self-care on throughout the fall and winter and spring as every
Yeah.
season, right? Every season.
I didn't always have that viewpoint. At one point in my life, I was all like, I have to do everything.
Right.
Like,
If I'm not there and they're doing something, I feel so guilty.
it was like I was really pressured by the should. And I learned to question the should. Like, whose should is this?
Mhm.
Yeah. Where
It's
does
like-
that come from?
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And a lot of the times it was not good thinking, or I'm thinking somebody else, if I don't do this, somebody else, I'm like, what does that matter? It's just vague. It's not really.
Well, it's the FOMO too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I want to be seen as, or
Right.
I want to be seen as, yeah.
It's really
So-
interesting, being in the business world, and part of the research I've done has been on Steve Jobs. And one of the, and I'm not, one of his sayings was, I say no to more things than I say yes to. I only say yes to a very few things. And Steve Jobs was inundated all the time with new ideas, with all of this stuff, good stuff, right? But his ability to sit there and look at it and kindly say, no, thank you, or, hey, I really appreciate that offer. In fact, I know Brene Brown, and I cannot remember which book it is.
Yeah. I love what she does. Yeah.
Okay, tell me what she does.
Go ahead, Jen. Go ahead, Jen.
What's she do?
She had a fidget ring, a spinner.
Uh-huh.
Because she would say yes to everything.
Mhm.
She felt like she had to. She should do it. She'd have a spinner ring or a fidget ring, and she would twist it 3 times before she would answer.
Ah, very cool.
And then,
Cool.
yeah, I thought that was giving her the space and the brain to say, "Oh, is this really good for me?" Yeah.
Yeah. And to
Well-
be able to say, thank you so much. I really appreciate you thinking of me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not going to work for me.
Yeah.
And
One of my favorites is to say, let me think about that. Yeah. Thank you.
but then you have to come back.
I like to just
Yeah.
cut it right off.
Yeah.
Cut them off right there, huh?
Let's just be decisive. I don't want to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
It's a yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you know that it's a heck no,
I know it's a no.
or
It's gonna
heck
be.
yes. Yeah. You it's either heck yes or heck no. And
If it's not a heck yes, it definitely is a heck no.
that's right. So
Yeah.
just politely say, no, that's not gonna
Thanks
work.
for writing
Thank
that.
you. Yeah, I appreciate you thinking of me,
Yeah.
but that's not gonna work for me. Yeah.
Yeah. What do
And
you think? See
I
it.
think sometimes we get into also a little bit of murky water when we feel like we have to explain our nose.
Yeah.
You don't
No.
have to explain your nose.
You don't.
Mm-mm.
Don't.
thank them and just like, it's not going to work for me. Sorry.
And that's where we often find we get into trouble too, right? Because that's where that fine line comes in of truth. Because oftentimes you try to, well, you just don't have to explain it, right? It's just not going to work for me.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to try to explain that, no, that's going to be super uncomfortable and my schedule's too busy, or you know what, there is no way on earth I would want to participate in that, right? How are you going to say that truthfully, right? You just have to say, yeah, no, thank you for thinking of me. That's not going to work.
I love the phrase, thank you for thinking of me. Yeah. So
Yeah.
kind.
Yeah.
I think it softens your no.
Yeah.
Well, and I think if we mean it, that we're really grateful that they thought of us, and we can get to that point as we allow ourselves to say no more frequently, then we truly do feel grateful that someone thought of us. And that makes it so much easier to say no again. Thank you for thinking of me.
And I know we've been talking about words. It's easier to say, well, thank you for thinking of me. It's just not going to work for me, or, I just don't think so this time. Instead of just saying, thank you for thinking of me. No.
Right. But no.
No.
Grace. A little bit of grace is always nice. Yes.
A little bit of grace. Yeah. A little bit of grace.
Yeah. That's good. Okay. So you did that. Let's just play a scenario then. You did that. You said, thank you for thinking of me. You said no in the nicest, most gracious way possible. And you walked around the corner and your brain said, how could you say no to that? Don't you know that they need you? Look at all the gifts that you've been given. How could you not say yes to that? What do you do then? Because I know those words real well.
Yeah.
That should stick. Somebody picks it up and starts beating me as I'm around the corner.
You should have said yes.
Should have done that.
You should have done that. Yeah.
You should.
Question it. Why? Why do you think I should have done that?
Oh, I love that. Just right there in your mind, in your head. But why?
Why?
And then maybe give her some ammunition to say, well, look at all you have. Okay, but why?
Yeah. And then also being able to look at, because you said no, right? You said no. Why was it important for me to say no? Because your should stick is already telling you why you should have, right?
Right.
So why was it important for me to say no?
What did I say yes to by saying no to this?
Exactly. That's
I love that.
Great way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying yes to maybe more time with family, or I'm saying yes to less stress. Who knows, Yeah.
I'm saying yes to a happier me who gets the rest that she needed by not triple booking, Yeah. Or yes to my morning study, or yes to a quiet afternoon because I had 3 busy days before that. Yes to balance, which of course leads me then anyway to yes to joy. Because if I'm not feeling balanced and grounded, joy is way far away. Yeah. So on Sunday afternoons, this has been a habit of mine for a long time, while my sweetheart takes his nap and my house is quiet. Because even when the kids were little, we had instituted quiet time. I mean, I didn't care. They were 16. We still had quiet time every afternoon. We just had quiet time because mama needed her quiet time. And I think it was good for the family to everybody get out of each other's business. And it was just quiet for a couple hours. But on Sunday afternoons, I sit down because I've just been to church, with the list of opportunities, bury the shitstick if I can, and my planner, and just quietly connect with my creator and write down, what did I commit to this week and what really matters? And I have had the same, I use that Mormon Mom Planner. I don't even know if they still call them that or not. But I've used, my husband actually bought it for me when it very first came out, the very first year. And I thought, what a lame Christmas present. You bought a planner? You think I'm unorganized or what? This is terrible. And I have eaten those words time and time and time again and gone back and told him, this is like so great. Thank you for doing that. I even told him the story about what a lame Christmas present. Show him I can change and grow too. But that planner, it's got a weekly layout on it, and I'll lay out what I have for sure committed to already, and then take a look and see what fits. So I can keep sanity, and so I can keep growing and take care of myself. That's my self-care. What do you guys do as far as your planning to keep yourself in balance that way, to avoid the should queen and stay in compassion?
I really have a hard time because when I sit down and plan, I know all the things I want to do and I know all the areas I need to improve on. I get excited and I want to do all the things all at once.
Yeah.
And
Good, better, and best all at once this week.
I had a really wise friend tell me once, don't try and live your life in 1 year.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I'm all like, well, that's what I'm trying to do.
Don't
So,
try to live your whole life in 1 year. I
in
love
one year. So I try and do, and then you taught me this. What are the three most important things for each day? Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the three most important like routines I need to establish? Or what if I have a routine established, what's the three most important things this week to in that routine that I can adjust or use? So it's just I have to write it out too. I have to have a calendar. I have to write it out. I have to have hours because of course, you have commitments here and there, and just how to fit your life in around among them.
Doctor appointment or a repairman or a, yes, I also have to have stickers and markers.
Of course, you got to make it fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Well,
you,
I
Daisy?
I just think it's so important, as you brought up, you guys, that we take it to God and we just ask him, what are this is my to-do list. Could you help me with this? What is most important and what is vital? What is vital? What is going to make the biggest difference? Um, and it helps to know what is your ultimate goal. It's the same thing when we go back to our yearly planner and our yearly assessment. How did I do towards my goals? Keeping in mind that for me, it's my family relations right now. And yes, I have work stuff, but that my family relationships right now are vital.
Yeah.
And if I say yes to all of these other things, have I been able to what have I been able to do to make my family relationships grow or more
Right.
solid?
Have you
And
been true to that?
yeah, so just being able to keep that in mind, what's most important.
Yeah.
It's most important, and then taking that and things will come to your mind. In prayer or in scripture study where you will have revelation that says this will be really important. Make sure you check in on so and so today, or um, make sure that you're done with work today so that you can be out in the barn with your husband or whatever,
Yeah.
the garage
Available
or
for
the
that
man cave or
relationship.
whatever. Yeah.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
so that you can be with him in a way that he loves to be. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And just because the Lord knows what's important. And he really wants us to be successful.
Yeah.
And he'll help us know those top three things. And so many of those shoulds will fall off your list. And it's just the coolest thing to bring it to him and have him just say, that's really not that important. That's
Or
not
you
important.
might just forget about him. I think that's been my favorite is when I bring
Yeah.
it to him and I put down the things that he says are most important, everything else just kind of falls away and is forgotten.
Mhm. Mhm.
It doesn't really have any importance after that.
Right.
That gives me the peace and that makes the should queen a lot quieter. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, I had an experience on Saturday or Friday. So we went camping all last week and we're off grid and I got back and cleaned out the camping gear and y'all know how crazy busy
Oh,
that stuff
so
is.
messy.
Ugh.
Yes. So much
And
dirt.
then my husband took our granddaughter back over to the valley. So I mean that was a 9-hour day for him there back.
Wow.
And so I had the day and um in in my in my pondering, it was take care of your house, because for me, that's just having a tidy house and just
Order.
I love the order and the clean. That just is so important to me. And so as I was doing that, I had the shoulds. Oh, you should call your mom. You should call your sister. You should, right? And every time I would take that, Heavenly Father would say, keep cleaning your house. I never got from him, you should clean your house, right?
Almost like cleaning your house was a personal meditation,
It
like it was a
really
settling in and a rejuvenation.
it really is, because it's just this feeling of calm, and he knows the peace that it brings, right? And I know that I wouldn't have gotten the things done that I was able to do had I made those phone calls. Even if I would have kept cleaning at the same time, it would have been distracting, and it was really okay. I
Yeah.
called my sister the next day, and yeah, but those shoulds, they do creep in. You should do this, you should do that. But when you keep focus on what's really important, it's that perspective, right? Focus and perspective. Yeah.
Focus and perspective. Yeah. Speaking of which, focus and perspective, Jen and I were talking, I guess, end of last week about things that were coming up, and I couldn't believe it, but year-end review came up,
Mhm.
JC,
Yeah.
and what's your word for 2026 came up, and
Mhm.
you week came up, and all of these things that as we're turning the corner into the fall, I'm like, oh, it really is it's going to be the last quarter before we know it.
Mhm.
Those are big, important things here at CMH Coaching. And it's exciting to think about moving into helping you decide what your word is for next year and helping you review like last year's year-end review with JC and to come back and say, how was that? How did that work? And of course, U Week is always fun, but it's not going to be U Week this year. I don't know what it'll be, but I think it'll probably be a day, whatever the day is. Yeah. Yeah, a day. But we need a day to all come together and touch base, and we need a reason to put Coach and Clear and Mastermind on sale. So,
Mhm.
and that's always been the U Week thing is to put those on sale. So keep an eye out for that because we'll be having that special event coming up here in the next couple of months, and we'll have Coach and Clear and Mastermind on sale. It's always cut by so much, but we only do it once a year. So that's got to come up too. Yeah, it's crazy. But none of those feel like shoulds to me. They just feel like fun. Just fun. Those are just good turn the page activities to do something really cool.
Mhm.
So, and build compassion. So much self-care really is being compassionate to yourself. Is beautiful. Hey, where do we stand on book club these days?
We took the July and August off, so we will be back in September. Yep.
That'll be fun.
Ah,
We got another couple of weeks off and then we'll get started again in the fall.
mhm.
That sounds lovely. Well, it's going to be good. Oh, I guess I should say something about what's happening on Saturday.
Mhm.
Jacine, what's happening on Saturday?
We are doing our joy retreat. So it's our second one that we've done. And um, we talked in our first joy retreat about looking for the small and simple things that bring you joy. And as we've practiced doing that, and y'all, even if you haven't practiced, please come, sign up and come, show up on Saturday morning. We're going to talk about the ripple effect that
Oh,
happens as we receive that joy, and then what happens when as we receive that joy, and how that affects, again, just like the queen, the should queen, right?
yeah.
Like her
Her
whole
whole
kingdom.
kingdom turned gray and dingy because of her.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
yeah, and we're just learning just learning more about joy. And when we truly have joy, it's we know who we are and we know our purpose. And that really, really brings joy. So
Oh,
join
I'm
us.
excited. I'm so excited. Okay, so if you haven't registered, We have emails that go out. Actually, they're going out every day this week so check your spam box if you haven't gotten any. We also have our Monday text message that had the link in it. And I'll put the link on the 50/50 Girl page, and I'll also put the link out on our regular Facebook pages. So if you want it, just sign up. It's completely free. It's part of our Jubilee year. We're doing 4 joy retreats, 1 each quarter, because of our Jubilee year for CMH coaching, because we've been here now 7 years. And this is our gift for all of your wonderful, wonderful, compassionate help to us and for your attendance and being here with us. Bring more joy in the whole world. It's going to be beautiful. And I'm excited about the ripple effect. That's powerful.
It is. It is.
Going to be good. All right. Well, then, monitor your should queen this week. See if she's leaning more towards should, or she's leaning more towards compassion. Because I love that her kingdom came back to life with its brilliant color and then became known as the kingdom of compassion. Kind of a thought to think about. How could your kingdom become a kingdom of compassion? What could that look like for you this week? And then we'll talk again next Monday, because we'll be back with another episode of A Creator-Based Life, because you are the creator of your life experience. And today you can choose to be just that. Have a beautiful week. Thank you, Jacine. Thank you, Jen. See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on Linktree/CMHcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you
I just
soon.
fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything, with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Whoa, day